Man, they were making music that we are still trying to keep up with.
Well, guess what else he did?
Well,
Hit the road, Jack. I thought that was Ray Charles all day long.
I know it. That's a trip.
Blues in the basement. In the basement. In the basement.
Okay, we're back with Blues in the Basement.
Yeah, my baby sister.
Oh, and
Cooki
my
B.
guy, Melvin, the professor, y'all.
Hey, good to see you, Cooki B. How you
It's
doing, dog?
always good to see you. I missed you. I feel like
you
we've
too.
been
Yeah,
away.
Yeah, we haven't recorded in a little while.
Hey, we're
Keep
back
getting
now,
shows
why?
in the can and everything, but we got it going on.
We're going to get her done.
Oh, yeah, and we got a good one.
Ooh, the West Coast Blues.
Yeah.
I thought the West Coast was full of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, but we're going to bring the blues from the West
The
Coast.
blues is everywhere.
It's coming, y'all.
The moon is rising and the sun is sinking low. Yes, the moon is rising, babe, and the sun is sinking low. No, I can't find my woman. Lord, I wonder where did she go? You can talk about my baby, say just what you please, but I want you to know, yes, she's all right with me, 'cause she's my baby. Lord, and I don't care what you say. Yeah, she'll be my baby, Lord, until my dying day. Baby, when you lay down across my bed, were you too intoxicated to remember what you said? You said, Daddy, I love you. Or was you telling me a lie? If you didn't mean what you were saying, baby, so long, goodbye. Every time I see a woman, yes, it makes me think of mine. Every time I see a woman, yes, it makes me think of mine. Good-looking and bow-legged, guess what? Yes, and she sticks way out behind.
Okay, Blues at Sunrise with Mr. Ivory Joe Hunter.
Yeah,
now,
that's
not blues on the Pacific, but Blues at Sunrise. Okay, Melvin, this is lovely. How did this West Coast come about?
You know, we got to talking about the West Coast blues once before because we talked about Delta blues, which is like the foundation.
Hello.
Which went to Chicago, which went to
Detroit.
Detroit, yeah, all over the place. Yeah, and how it developed and everything. But at World War II was another migration for black folks.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the jobs out there.
Okay.
You know, the airplane factories and stuff like that. And a lot of these artists leaving from Texas and this area.
Texas,
basically.
Texas, of course. Texas players. I hear you.
and they started founding up the West Coast blues.
Wow. Blues at Sunrise. That was all right.
Yeah, I
Had a
enjoyed
little, it was blues and it was a little swingy and
Yeah, a little swing jazz.
Yes.
It was more. I think the West Coast thing was more jazzy.
Gotcha.
And plus the fact they played, it was more piano players.
Okay.
Because we're doing Delta stuff. We talking about guitars and things.
Yeah, so your guy, Mr. Hunter,
Average
he
Joe
could
Hunter.
play that piano like BB did the guitar.
Exactly.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
Average Joe Hunter.
Oh, so if he was emulating BB on Lucille, he was doing some good things, right?
Oh yeah, and he
Love
had a song called "Since I Met You, Baby."
Oh yeah.
That was a big hit back in the 50s. He had a lot of hits in the 50s and the early 60s.
And of
stuff.
course, he was honored at your favorite, the Monterey Jazz Festival, and
is that right?
the Grand Ole Opry.
that was
Who knew?
There
I thought
you
everybody
go.
was just moving to Nashville now.
There you go. Blues is part of
Everything. Blues has a touch in it.
touching everything. So
I love that.
check out this one.
Let's go.
This is my man T-Bone Walker. Everybody gonna remember this song right here.
Stormy Monday Blues.
They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday's worse, and Thursday's also sad. Yes, the eagle flies on Friday, and Saturday I go out to play. Eagle flies on Friday, and Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I go to church, then I kneel down and pray. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on me. Lord have mercy. My heart's in misery. Crazy about my baby. Yeah, send her back to me.
Okay, Stormy Monday Blues.
I think everybody's heard that song. at
That
one
song
time or
has,
another.
yes, and it's been done by so many that we
Yeah,
love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great song, though.
But-
Okay.
and
T-Bone.
there's a little story that goes along with that too.
Give it to
T-Bone
us.
got ripped off a little bit.
Uh-oh.
He wrote it, but then when he first did the song, he wrote it as they call it Stormy Monday, but
Tuesday
is just as bad.
So they kind of played off of that.
Well, I mean, he made a hit out of it. He did pretty good with it. It was a
Yeah.
slow 12-bar
I
blues.
just 12 bar blues. Y'all learning something.
But,
You're going to learn today. Professor is in the house,
but
honey.
yeah, he did. But so everybody got in on the
Yes.
action.
Okay, our greats. B.B. King did Stormy
Yeah.
Monday. Bobby Blue Bland. I listened to that one today.
That one got
Stormy
popular
Monday.
too.
Oh, because that voice. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
Bobby
he had
Bland's
it.
voice. Yeah.
But what with the Allman
It hit the
Brothers?
pop charts.
Did they
The
kind of?
Allman Brothers.
He didn't like
recorded.
them doing it.
Well, the other thing was that the name changed. So his was call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. And as these other folks started doing it, they called it the Stormy Monday Blues. And then when the Allman Brothers got a hold of it, they act like it was theirs. They called it the Stormy Monday
so I don't
Blues,
blame him.
And they were cutting him out of his royalties.
I do not blame him.
Yeah, so he had to go off on some folks about it. But
Oh,
Lattimore did it too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Lattimore did it in
Let's
73.
straighten it out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He did a Stormy Monday in 73. I mean, you know.
but it was a popular song, so I could see a lot of people redoing it
Oh,
and
heck yeah.
making it their own as well.
Oh, yeah. T-Bone
Okay,
made
Phyllis.
it.
Now,
T-Bone.
Phyllis loved the blues, or she loved you? Which
Well,
is
I
it?
guess she loved me because she don't like the blues.
Yes, she does, and she loves her Melvin, the professor, baby.
Right.
What we got next?
Well, now, where T-Bone Ivory Joe Hunter was the master of the piano.
Okay,
And
piano.
T-Bone was master of the guitar.
Okay, he was.
So we're coming up now on Pee Wee Creighton.
Blues After Hours. That's like our show.
Yeah.
Blues in the Basement could be after hours. Yay! Okay, Blues After Hours with Mr. Pee Wee Creighton.
Creighton, yeah.
Not Pee Wee Herman,
No.
but Pee Wee
We
Creighton.
Creighton. That
Okay.
was and most of these are from singles that were done back in the day,
Yes.
45,
Beautiful.
47. Like the first one, Ivory Joe Hunter was 45.
Yes.
T-Bone Walker was 47. Pee Wee,
Pee-wee.
this was 48.
Listen to
You know, we're going down kind of chronological
That's
because
it.
of the way the music happened. And like we said, this was the migration
Yes,
to the
yes,
West
yes,
Coast.
yes.
And the Delta Blues going out there getting refined, as it was. Because that
So,
was kind of refined.
That was
the
very
blues song was.
refined. But now, Pee Wee, real name Connie Curtis. Great, Connie. A guy named Connie.
Guy named Connie.
And then Pee Wee. What? Okay, coming in. But okay, yeah.
Guitar player.
Okay, we go. Yeah. But what's really awesome,
Oh, yeah.
he was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame right here in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right. By his longtime friend, Doug McLeod.
Doug McLeod.
Yeah.
Oh.
Blues Foundation put him in there. He's from Rockdale, Texas, like we said.
Texas.
These cats coming out of Texas doing.
We ain't mad at him, no album.
No. That was another one. He was really unique though, in one of the cats that was credited with the development of the blues as we know it, even before 1948.
Wow, that's crazy. Pee-wee, all right, props.
Yeah, Blues in the Basement. We keep on going, keep it in.
That's what we do.
Hey, this is Lomax, and I'm listening to Blues in the Basement.
Right and funky.
People who do the general civil rights movement would say it starts with Brown versus Du Bois, which is in the mid-50s, and you don't get the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Rights Act until 10 years later.
Funky Politics on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
KUDZUKIAN.
Okay, we're still rolling with the West Coast Blues, Professor.
Oh yeah, Blues in the Basement, West Coast.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the idea of this one. And I like this music. It's sort of like, and I know we've been talking about foundations and stuff, but it's kind of the foundation of R&B.
I'm with you.
You can hear it.
I can hear it. I can feel it. You can.
Yeah, because and some of these guys like Ivor Johanna and those guys, I remember hearing those songs, them doing songs. So when I was a kid,
wow,
little kid back in
well, that wasn't that long ago, but okay,
50s and 60s. That's a long time.
Not now, it's not.
But we're getting ready to hit my boy.
Ooh, I am in love with this song. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like a famous song.
Mm-hmm. Tell us why it's famous.
And so Percy Mayfield.
Come on, give us about the
lyrics. He did the original one.
Let's do this.
He did it in 1950. And it was a hit. And it was kind of like almost a protest song. Not a protest song, but it was like...
He was almost like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, asking for peace of mind and love and understanding.
Oh, and we need that now.
Yeah.
With everything going on.
Just like you said, like Marvin
we need it
what's
now.
going on.
That's right.
And this was like the what's going on in 1950.
I love this.
So then by 1955, Phineas was up in New York tearing it up. Doing Dez.
He loves Phineas, y'all, yeah.
Phineas with Ray Brown playing bass with him.
Okay.
And they did a version of it that took off up in the city. And then later on, back down in the 80s, Grover Washington Jr. did a version of it with strings attached.
He's a bad man. Oh, well, anything Grover. Come on now. Come on. I'm just saying.
But it's such a killer.
I know him.
It all started on Specialty Records with Percy Mayfield, 1950. You got to pay attention to these lyrics.
Please, y'all. Please send me someone to love.
Oh, yeah.
Heaven, please send to all mankind understanding and peace in mind. But if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love, someone to love. Show the world how to get along. Peace will enter when the hate is gone. But if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please send me someone to love. I lay awake nights and pound a world trouble, and my answer is always the same, that unless man put an end to this damnable sin, hate will put the world in a flame. What a shame, just because I'm in misery. I don't beg for no sympathy, but if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please send me someone to love. I don't beg for no sympathy, but if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please send me someone to love.
Well, this is a blues show, but as you said, the blues touches on every aspect, every genre, everything. Yeah. So please send me someone to love. Percy did that.
He did that. That was so good.
But he was on the R&B charts for 27 weeks.
Imagine that.
Number 1 for 2 weeks on the R&B. Come on now.
In 1950. I mean, it was such a good song.
What can you say?
If you were listening to those lyrics, you know, it was. But it was a universal lament. It was like, you know, give me some. It was about discrimination. It was about love. It was about war. It was about. It was a lot of stuff involved.
I love that, Malvin.
That was a beautiful song.
I love that.
That's a beautiful song.
So we're gonna give him the Texas connection, but he was actually born in Minden, Louisiana.
Okay.
He didn't stay there long, but of course. He moved to Texas as a youngster, so. Yeah. But hey, that's what motivated him, I guess, to go on to the West Coast and give us someone. Please send me someone to love.
He was born in 1920. Gosh, my dad was born in 1924.
And my dad was born in 1929.
Okay.
Wow. So he was older than our dad.
These cats were like, man, they were making music that we are still trying to keep up with.
Well, guess what else he did?
What?
Hit the road, Jack. I thought that was Ray Charles all day long.
I know it. That's a trip. Yeah, that was Percy Mayfield's Hit the Road,
Jack. Go on, Percy.
Don't you come back no more.
I love it. I'm here for it.
You know what? He was in a car wreck. He used to do a lot of performances. He was in a car wreck, and he messed his face up. He got injured pretty good, and so he quit doing shows. He was in the front seat passenger of a chauffeur-driven car, and they got hit in the back. They hit the back of a truck, and it messed his face up pretty good. So he got paranoid. He wouldn't do shows,
but he still wrote.
But he still wrote songs and recorded and stuff.
That's
so
okay.
He's still going. So this next cat that we got coming up, Floyd Dixon, he is known as the greatest writer of blues songs ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Please don't go. He was a beggar. I'm kidding. We'll be back.
Well, don't leave me, baby, baby, please don't go. Oh, don't leave me, baby, baby, please don't go. Well, I thought that you loved me just the same as you did before. I really ought to send you to the undertaker. Don't leave me, baby, baby, please don't go. Well, I thought that you loved me, same as you did before. Well, the butcher and the baker and the candlestick maker all had to serve the undertaker. But don't leave me, baby, baby.
Okay, please don't go.
Don't go.
Floyd did that, didn't he?
Dixon, yeah. He was a songwriter
extraordinaire. Yes, he was.
And like I said, going chronologically, so Percy did his in 1950. This one was 53.
Okay, so we've hit on, we're doing the blues. We've hit on what? R&B, jazz, He was a little rock and roll.
Rock and roll and
All
shit.
right.
Person did. Floyd Dixon. And Floyd was one of the
that.
great songwriters. He had people singing his songs. He wrote songs for almost everybody that ever recorded anything.
And that's the
He's
thing,
one
the
of the
man
most-
behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's one of the most recorded, at least his songs.
Are most
recorded.
okay. Well, I love it. Okay, of course, it still had the 12-bar blues,
Of course.
but it had that drum pop and that boogie woogie piano.
I know. That was so cool.
Yes. So now, okay, so he was born in Texas, Marshall, Texas. Okay, Jay Riggins Jr., your real name. Yeah, we put it out there.
All these cats take a stage name, don't they? Yeah.
I would love a stage name.
You got one,
I gotta
baby
have
sister.
one.
You baby
Oh,
sister.
I'm baby sister.
Yeah, you baby sister.
Oh, so cute. But his lyrics were a little, not risque, a little sexy though, wasn't it?
Sexy lyrics on that one anyway, but yeah, he wrote a lot of songs. He wrote a lot of songs. A lot
love
of
it.
people recorded his music too. And not only that, but he met Charles Brown, who Charles Brown took Nat King Cole's place years ago when Nat King Cole left, what was that band?
Nat King Cole was in a band?
Nat Cole was playing with Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. Nat Cole decided to go off on his own with his own trio.
Very smart.
We talked about Charles Brown.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Oh,
so
yes.
he took Nat Cole's place. Well, when Charles Brown left, Dixon took Charles Brown's place.
Oh, so Dixon was somebody really, really good.
Yes, yes. He's a bad man. He played piano, boogie woogie style too, but he played piano and sang, and he was one of those crooners, just like those other cats too.
All right, well, let's leave the crooner. Let's go hear Lowell Fulson and Reconsider Baby.
Yeah.
All right.
So long. Oh, I hate to see you go. So long. Oh, I hate to see you go. And the way that I will miss you, I guess you will never know. We've been together so long to have to separate this way. We've been together so long to have to separate this way. I'm gonna let you go ahead on, baby. Pray that you'll come back home someday. But now I guess you have changed your mind. You said you once said love me, but now I guess you have changed your mind. Why don't you reconsider, baby? Give yourself just a little more time.
Reconsider, baby.
Yeah, another one of those. That was good Delta blues
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
thing with
sort
the
of,
guitar
kinda.
player.
Yes, yes.
You know, Lowell Fulson. He was. Man, I remember listening to him on WDIA.
W
years
who?
ago. WDIA.
Right here in
Yeah,
Memphis,
Tennessee.
10.
Yeah, back in 50s.
That's a staple, baby.
Oh,
That's a
shoot, yeah.
staple.
We had the Rufus.
Oh, Rufus. Rufus Thomas, the Funky Chicken Man.
But Rufus said, I'm young, I'm loose, I'm full of juice, I got the goose, so what's the use? We feeling gay and ain't got a dollar. Rufus is here, so let's hoot and holler.
I love that. Oh, Carla, do you hear Melvin? He just quoted your dad.
That's the way Rufus used to open up his show.
Tell Bev Johnson and Bobby O.J. we can come over there on WA and get them so we can spill something.
I know that's right. We used to hear Lil Folsom doing a lot of music over there on the station. And he did West Coast style.
Okay.
From Checker Records.
Checker Records, okay.
Which was part of Chess. And he got Lil Folsom. He kept on going. He got to be big deal.
Well, guess what? He had to have been the big deal because the Blues Foundation and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recognized his work on Reconsider Baby.
Yeah.
That's
it was
amazing.
A real popular song for him. It was the B-side of a record, too, from 54.
Yeah, I remember those 45.
45, yeah. Well,
telling our age now, but okay.
This Blues in the Basement, y'all. Just keep it tuned right here.
Blues in the Basement.
Blues in the basement's all right. It's all right. It's all right. KUDZUKIAN.
Riffin' on jazz.
But she was a sheriff's deputy.
Where?
In Detroit.
In Detroit. Oh my God, you can't be no punk for that.
And ended up playing a flute.
Riffin' on jazz on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
KUDZUKIAN.
Okay, we're still bringing y'all these West Coast blues.
I love it.
Only as Melvin can put this together, the professor.
The blues comes from everywhere.
Loving it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It seemed like everybody that got a hold of it put their own stamp on it.
They did. And it just evolved from there, right?
Oh, yeah.
From one thing to another, but
and we always talk about it.
4 and 12 bars.
12 bars.
Remain constant.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
He's such a musician.
I wish I could play. No, I wish I could play a darn, an instrument. I really do.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could sing, I'd sing to
you. You know you got the voice for singing.
Shoot. I didn't say it. I know the people thought I did, but it is the blues.
Yeah, it is after all. So as we move along, y'all, we got this cat, Big J McNeely.
Ooh.
There Is Something on Your Mind. It's a single.
Okay.
From a 45 that he put out.
45.
This was in 59.
1959, Swinging Records.
Yeah. But now this one, the thing about him is we talked about the piano players, guitar players. This cat was a saxophone player.
That's why you like him.
Yeah,
all right, Melvin the professor from the Neutros. He likes the saxophone.
But now this is really like an R&B sounding song. And you can hear people, you can see people on American Bandstand doing the stroll. That was the name of that
Soul
dance.
Train?
No, they didn't do
before
Stroll
them.
or Soul Train.
Oh,
this was before them.
We did the Soul Train line.
Yeah.
Okay,
line
I knew it was something like that.
This was the Stroll. It was a dance that people did, though, actually, back in the day, to the tempo of this song.
Okay, so they had a dance called the Stroll.
Yeah, and it was to the tempo of this track. There is something on your mind.
Oh, you sound good. All right, Professor.
There is something on your mind by the way you look at me. There is something on your mind, honey, by the way you look at me. Can what you're thinking bring happiness, or will it bring misery? No, please don't try to tell me. I think I understand. No, you don't have to tell me, pretty baby. I think I understand. You want me to try and forget you, but I'll do the best I can.
think about me, if I ever cross your mind, girl, if you ever think about me, pretty baby, if I ever cross your mind, well, you know I'm yours, and I know you're mine. Do 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 do.
What's on your mind, Professor? There's something on your mind. What is it?
Now that one was featuring Lil Sonny Warner on the vocals, and he did 63 album Warner Brothers too. But
well, we know Warner Brothers.
Yeah, big time
Lil
label.
Sonny
Warner Brothers did everything.
They did.
Movies.
They were. If you were at Warner Brothers, you was something big, or you were gonna be big. They thought you were big, so they took a gamble.
Big J.
Oh,
I like that something on your mind. I like that song. You can hear that. I like the little move, that little tempo on that.
I love this. So, what was McNeely's connection with Lionel Hampton?
Well, he was part of that band, I do believe.
Oh, Lionel Hampton, come on now.
The jazz, of course.
That's
another
it.
connection
That's
with
it.
the jazz.
What you said it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
He performed that song a lot of places. There was a big deal about. There was a thing called the Cavalcade of Jazz concert that was held at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And they did every year.
That's the baseball field.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1949, he performed that song in the concert, and Lionel Hampton got into the showdown with him. That pillows were thrown along with other items. They got
pillows
into
as in a good thing.
pillow fight. They got in a pillow fight at the concert.
Oh my
Big J
goodness!
McNeely and Lionel Hampton.
My goodness!
Yeah.
Big boys playing with pillows.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the Cavalcade of Jazz.
Oh wow!
48.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. That was music, but people been having fun with music for a long time.
Well, I am enjoying the West Coast blues.
Yeah.
So my cousins out on the West Coast, this one's for y'all, Tanya, Cindy. I got a lot of cousins in the West Coast, on the West Coast.
So we got piano player and composer Jimmy McCracken coming up.
Uh-oh.
I want to know, I just got to know. Why do you always play around? If you have that same feeling for me, then why don't you settle down? I want to know, I just got to know. I think you want me for something, you see. If I'm wrong, please tell me right. I know I've been in the dark a long time, but someday I will see the light. And I want to know, I just got to know. What from your ways and action? I have a feeling you have let me down. I want to know. I want to know. I just got to know. I want to know. I want to know, I just got to know.
Okay, just got to know. Did you find out everything you need to know?
Gotta know.
That was a good one.
From 61, that was from the Art
Yes.
Tone Records label. That was a label that came in, didn't last a long time, but it did a lot of good. Art Tone Records, Jimmy McCracklin. Just gotta know.
Just gotta know.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was
nice. 1961. So we've been going chronologically.
Coming on up.
Coming on up.
You still not at mine, but we close.
Yeah, we getting
we close.
We're getting there. Jimmy, his real name was, and another statement, his real name was James David Walker Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, he just passed away in 2012 too. So,
wow.
A lot of these cats are still around. They were still gigging.
I love that.
Way on
but
into
don't
the
you
2000s,
love it?
Yeah.
I love it.
But he's better known by his stage name, Jimmy McCracklin. He was a piano player, vocalist, songwriter, West Coast blues, jump blues, and R&B.
Doing the stroll on American Bandstand as well.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. But these cats are so good at all this stuff.
They really are.
You know what? And he was born in Elaine, Arkansas.
What? And then went on over, crossed over.
Yeah. But just he went to the Navy too. During World War II.
Oh, you're my favorite Air Force man. You are.
Well, dude, a lot
Air
of
Force
these cats,
veteran. I'm sorry, I said man, but
a lot of these cats did serve the country though during the time, and we got to give them credit for all of that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And we're running out of time.
No.
I hate it. So we got to talk. Sonny Rhodes is coming up to take us out all night long. Play the blues.
Oh, not Lionel Richie's all night long.
No, this is Sonny Rhodes.
Well, let's go, Sonny. Let's go.
All right, Road Blues in the Basement. Hey, y'all, we do it every week.
All right, Professor. I love you.
Love you, baby sister.
Blues in the Basement. Directed, produced, and distributed by KUDZUKIAN.
I live across the street from a juke joint, baby. Woman all night long, they play the blues. I live across the street from a juke joint, baby. Woman all night long, they play the blues. I know you must be doing me wrong, baby. And it's you I hate to lose. They play the blues so low down until my eyes get full of tears. sit here and listen at these blues and let my tears flow with all in mine. Yeah, well, I guess I'll sit here and listen at these blues, woman, and let my tears flow with all in mine. Saying, wanna be, woman, where can you be again tonight?
Blues in the basement.
Just you and Buddy.
Blues in the Basement.